It is no longer possible to ignore all the signs and signals that suggest that indeed two political rivals, Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto, could very easily in the near future come together in a coalition of sorts. Now, regulars on this particular channel will know that I have said repeatedly that that is impossible. Close allies of Raila Odinga have also said that is completely impossible. But my policy here has always been to go with the evidence, and to let the evidence lead me, where it will lead me, as opposed to forcing the evidence in the direction you want. And therefore, even in a situation where emerging evidence rubbishes what I said earlier or believed earlier, I have no issues. I will always let the solid evidence lead me to where it's going. Now, in this particular case, let us agree that there are very many ways people can work together. It does not have to be a coalition in the way we understand coalitions. It is very viable for two strong presidential candidates to work together in an election, and then let the people decide which one of them will be president. In other words, you work together when it comes to parliamentary seats. In particular constituency, you step down in favor of each other. And the same goes for all the other seats. For instance, governor of a certain county, I will fully support you in this particular county when presidential candidate says, and in return, I want your full support in this other county. Let your man step down. That kind of thing. I have reason to believe that this kind of arrangement is extremely possible. And indeed, as the days go by, it seems more and more probable that Raila Odinga and William Samoei Ruto will work together in 2022. Now, let me start by boldly and bravely persevering some egg on my face. One of my firm supporters on this channel, a nice lady whom I never agree with, because she's firmly in the DP Ruto camp, has repeatedly, consistently predicted that Ruto and Raila will work together in 2022. And I have consistently rubbished this prediction. Well, it seems I was wrong, because the evidence on the ground is starting to show me I was wrong. And I take this opportunity for apologizing for not seeing. Of course, I'm human. I can't see everything. But let me apologize. Like a man, not like a coward. That I failed to see. Because one thing is very clear right now in Kenyan politics. If today ODM were to take an opposing position on an issue against the rest of Team Keleweke, you can be sure of one thing. They will receive solid support from the DP Ruto camp and Team Tangatanga. The latest example of this is in the vote to remove Senator Malala from his position as Senate Deputy Minority Leader. The media are telling us that Malala is in the Uhuru camp. If that is true, then it means that Malala is bang in the middle of an initiative to dilute Raila Odinga's support amongst the Luhya nation. Senator Malala has always been a Raila man. Indeed, he has built up his political profile and huge support, even outside his own community, based on his support for Raila Odinga. The main reason he got his post as Deputy Minority Leader in the Senate was because of his support and loyalty to Raila Odinga. But today, Malala clearly has other priorities, mainly to do with his own ascension in power, in politics, to the next level. And he has decided clearly that he does not need Raila Odinga for him to rise to the next level politically. And of course it's logical that when somebody has abandoned you, it does not make sense to allow them to keep on riding on your back even as they pursue their personal agenda, using support from other quarters. And it is not personal, it's just politics. Now, let us also agree that a Raila Ruto alliance of some sort is the worst nightmare of the Uhuru Kenyatta camp. It is the worst nightmare of the deep state that has been fighting William Samoei Ruto. If the deep state thought that clipping Raila's wings would have no consequences, then they made a fatal mistake. If the deep state thought, like I did, that a Raila Ruto alliance or Raila and Ruto working together was an impossibility, then they made a serious mistake. And now it will be very interesting to see how they respond to the latest developments, where it looks like this thing they thought was impossible is actually developing. You can be sure that they'll do a lot to frustrate and block this development from going anywhere. Because their biggest nightmare, for instance, is the fact that Raila and Ruto foot soldiers in parliament are capable of passing anything. They would have a clear majority, in terms of votes, both in the Senate and in the National Assembly. And there's some very good news here for those of us who are constantly fighting for a better Kenya. That good news is that it appears that our politics is maturing. If the current trend continues, if it continues, because anything can happen, this is politics. If it continues, it means that as a country, we're moving away from our politics of the past, to a politics of issues, which would mean that Raila and Ruto can gang up on a certain issue and see it through. And then the very next day, Raila can gang up with Uhuru on another issue, maybe to do the BBI, and see it through. And what is unlikely, but not impossible, is that on yet another issue, Uhuru can gang up with Ruto to see a certain issue through. Currently it is unlikely, but it is possible. It just depends on what the issue is. Now, before I go, for those who are still doubting a Raila Ruto working together situation, let me remind you of what happened in Kenya in the 90s when Raila shocked everybody by forming an alliance with Moi's KANU. His political outfit then was actually swallowed by KANU to form the new KANU. Admittedly, that alliance did not last, but it happened. Fact. And it is very instructive that it all fell apart. In 2001, when KANU had to decide who the presidential flag bearer would be, and they chose Uhuru Kenyatta at the time. And that was the end of that arrangement. Now, if you've enjoyed this video, please remember to give me a like. Until next time, this is Chris Kumekucha.